Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews. Have you ever wondered what games you should sell or you should use? Find out here at Purge Reviews. Find out on our top 10 list what games you cannot miss. Don't forget to subscribe to Purge Reviews.
Here's the expansion for Champions of Midgard. You're going to see on the side of here, you're going to have the Dark Mountains and Valhalla. This is the Kickstarter version. I'll show you what's inside both of this. But the point of this box, it doesn't say Champions of Midgard on the front at all, is so you can fit the entire game in this box. Only thing I have in this box right now is the expansion. You're going to see a little board here that you will see. There's some very nice artwork on here. None of this gets in the way because you will be placing cards on top of it. You will get a little promo instructions of what to do with the promos. You have an instruction booklet for the Dark Mountains. And kind of tells you how that works. You have the Valhalla Expansion. This is the boards and little punch outs that you would get. I've actually played a friend's copy more than my own. Here are the extra tiles you'll have, and you'll punch all of these out. These will be new chits you're going to be using when your dice die. You're going to get a new market stall that you'll be utilizing. I got some of the promos, which I'll crack open and show you. We do have some stickering to do, it looks like. We have some new player boards. Now these will match what comes in the original, but it gives you 4 new characters to play with new abilities. We'll take a look at those. We will get another board where we go to fight the Berserkers. This is where they'll be put at. And you're going to see you're going to get a whole bunch of new upgraded components, some new green dice. We're going to get a hero boards that will come in this one. But mostly I wanted to show you this, more dice and more cards, is the organization of this. So this should be big enough to hold everything you're going to get for Champions of Midgard so far. So next thing we'll look at is we'll look at the Valhalla Expansion. And I'm going to go through each of the expansions and kind of show you what they do. But we'll start out with Valhalla. So let's take a look at what you get. You're going to start with 5 Destiny cards. And this one says have the most tokens remaining at the end of the game. The most white ones have the most Valkyrie blessings. This one will be a leadership, a resurrection. And what these are going to do is discard your tokens to do things. And I'll show you kind of how those tokens work. But you'll get 5 of these in the deck. In addition, you will get 2 rune cards, have the most black tokens remaining at the end of the game, and the most green tokens. So once again, you're going to be scoring points for the tokens that you'll be collecting. And these are the 2 rune cards that you'll get in this expansion. We're also going to get 25 dice in this one. You're going to get a set of 10 pink, 5 blue, and 10 yellow. Let me take a look at what these do. So these are going to be the leader ones. I'll show you how these work. You can see that there'll be some hits on the side in this signal, which I'll show you what that means. This yellow one, you can see has some shields in a hit and some hits on it and some blanks. And then the pink, which will be the double hit, and you'll have some different ones and a miss on the side of that. So these will be the 3 dice that you're going to be getting. This is going to probably be the most interesting. These will just be added kind of like what we've seen before. You're going to get a number of blessing cards. I'll kind of show you how these work. They will be utilized with this deck right here. You will shuffle these up and you will put this out with a card out on each space. This one hasn't been shuffled, so let's put some different ones out here. And then you will have this out. You will also have this new market share that will come out. It's called a trainer. It's 1 item, either food, coin, or wood. And you can change your dice into what you want. 2 for 2 to get what you kind of need. And this will be put out on the board for you to be able to utilize. In addition, the player will get these 9 epic. These are going to be interesting as these will be epic monsters you can kind of go over that will give you big scoring at the end of the game. You will randomly select 2, which will be placed out on the board. And the rest of these can be put back in the box or just placed here. And you will only ever have 2. If one of these get beat, then you only have 1 more to fight. So this is kind of end-game fighting. Very large battles that you'll be having with those guys. Now I've kept these chits in here. You'll be collecting these chits. And the way this is going to work is that when one of your dice dies, like in the first game, depending on the color, your black, your green, your white, your yellow, your red, you will get to take one of these chits. And what you'll be doing is you'll be utilizing your actions to spend. If you look at some of these cards, like this one requires you to have 2 green chits. This one allows you to give up 2 red chits. This one is a green chit and one of your choice. So you'll be utilizing those to get these bonuses on these cards. In addition, these epic monsters, you will give up a lot of chits. 2 reds, 2 greens, one of your choice, and a yellow. And you'll get 10 glory, and then 3 for each of these that you get. So these will be big monsters that you'll be able to fight. And those chits that you get will be very important in doing so. This makes it even more important when your dice die. Because sometimes you will want your very good green dice to die because you want to get this chit because you want to utilize what's on this board. There's always an option here to give up any 2 chits to gain 1 glory. And you give up 3 chits to gain any die you want from the supply. So this is kind of like the worst way. Theoretically, you can use them or you can utilize the cards. Each player will get one of these mats. They're nice cardboard, they look cool. They don't do anything but hold your tokens for you as a way to utilize a space to hold the tokens. Nice, but pretty needless to be honest. You will also get 4 new characters that you can utilize. Yorin, whenever you encounter a journey event that is not all quiet, you gain 2 glory. So you want him to go out and find those monsters at the bottom of the board. When activating the Jarl's Longhouse, you may take a red or a black instead of a white. So he'll let you get the more powerful dice rather quickly. You may trade 2 tokens for a die instead of 3. So in that board, we can trade 3 any die you want. Thyro, so you're going to collect tokens. You're going to want people to die so you can get more tokens and get more dice. And Hemming, once per turn you may exchange 1 coin, wood, or food with a supply. So I can trade a coin in and get a wood, or wood and to get food, or food into wood, or whatever I want to do. So you can be very flexible with the items. Each one is double-sided if you just want to look at them or randomly select them. So it's very cool and gives you some extra powers that you can utilize. Now, in this one, you get these little slits of cardboard, and there's one for each character in here and each character that's in the base game. This is going to give you a way to utilize the blue die. So what you will do is you will utilize the die here, and you can have it. Anytime you send this guy off to battle, if he rolls a helmet, then you can utilize whatever power is on here. If he dies, it can be a little bit difficult to get him back. Usually you get the blue dice back from utilizing one of these cards. So if you look at the icon here, this will give your leader card back plus a favor token. So these can be very important to get this guy back, but he can be very powerful to utilize these powers, or he can give you 2 hits or 1 hit or maybe even blank. But usually, you want him to come up on this when you roll him to get these powers. Let's go over what they are. Gain a token of your choice from the supply. Gain 1 favor. Claim any 1 reward currently on display in the merchant ship. Gain 1 glory for each dice lost in combat this round. If no dice are lost, gain a favor. Immediately take a Sage Huts action. Add 1 pink from the supply to this combat and roll immediately. Return your leader die to your longhouse. Activate the effect of a green card in the supply or gain 1 wood from the supply. Replace any other die in this battle with a die of your choice from the supply. Roll the new die immediately. What a great way to upgrade. Change the result of a white die to a result of your choice. Fantastic. Now each of these are associated with a player. If you so wanted to, there's no reason why you can't just randomly select these, although the preferred way to play and the way they tell you is to line them up with what character is on it. So really quickly, let me give you a quick overview of what you're doing here. Anytime a die dies or warrior dies, you will then get a chit of that color. You will collect these chits either to utilize the powers that are always on the board or one of these cards. Anytime you go into combat, you can spend your tokens. You can also fight these epic monsters that will give you big amount of bonuses but require savings of a lot of tokens. You also have the blue die that you can utilize as a new unique power everybody has to capture with just this blue die. We also get the invention of some new dies that we can get that can combat heavy and defend for our character. So that's what the big point is going to be here, is utilizing these tokens and this board. I love Champions of Midgard, so it's no question I was looking forward to the 2 expansions that came out for it. In this case, I'm going to talk about Valhalla. Valhalla is the stronger of the 2 expansions if you ask me. What it gives you that's really sets it apart is it gives you that extra power with the blue leader die. And when you roll a certain marking 1 out of 6 on that leader die, it activates your power. This is a really cool thing. And when you lose that die, only certain cards on the board will bring that leader die back. Whenever a die dies now, you get a chit based on the color of it. Those chits are then turned in when you go to fight somebody at the end of a battle to get rewards, either fighting an epic monster, which only a couple of those are out the entire game, or by getting a reward card that gives you big bonuses. So collecting those chits, it just now gives a reason why you'd want one of your stronger dies to die, rather than always killing off your weaker of the 3. It's a phenomenal addition. I really like these two things. I will go as far to say that I will never play without the Valhalla expansion. Even if somebody's new, if they're an extremely light gamer, maybe I sit that one out. But I think anybody can understand the fact that really is that if a white die dies, you get a white chit, which you can turn into by this. It just gives another thing. Now the extra cards that you give it, the trolls and the doggers and the monster, just go ahead and shuffle all that stuff in. You're not really going to see a difference. But this edition is very strong. I would even say that if you like Champions of Midgard, or if you're thinking about at least get the Valhalla expansion for it. I think it adds that much. I really like this edition. This is going to be an absolute keeper for me. I'm going to tell you to check this one out while it's being printed and get this one. I don't want to say it's necessary for the base game, because I've enjoyed the base game for years without it, but this just blew my world with how good the Valhalla expansion is. Thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate you tuning in. If you liked it, please like it and hit that little subscribe button. That really helps out the channel, lets us know that you're getting the videos that you want. If you agreed or disagree with what I said, feel free to comment below. I'd love to hear what you have to say, and I promise that I will comment back. Thanks for watching, and everybody else,